How are you, man?
We're doing it.
This took a long time, didn't it?
Long time coming.
So, CKLV is over. Old David Teller in Oklahoma State almost set a record. They obviously look better. Some of the guys, even we were talking before hitting record, even someone like Plott against Keckeisen. No, it was still 8-3, but you can see improvement there.
Oh yeah, he got majored by him every time last year. You know, and he was firing away.
Hendrickson, there's so much to talk here, but I gotta start things off with just asking you who stuck out to you, or is there a couple guys that stuck out to you as far as how they looked in this CKLV?
Yeah, I'd probably say Zeth Romney at 133 and Jacob Cardenas just at 197, just tech, 12-0, and then a pin. Cardenas the domination and Zeth Romney just the shock factor. Who had him winning that bracket?
Everybody thinks about Mendez, Bartlett, and Alirez, or they think about O'Toole, Haynes, Hamidi.
Yep.
But depending on AJ, we may have a triple question mark at 97 because Cardenas absolutely looks like he's got what it takes to beat Buchanan.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
He's 9-0 this year, and he has 7 technical falls, a fall, and a 12-0 major. He has not given up an offensive point this year. He hasn't been taken down. It's all been escapes.
We don't know about AJ. Sometimes I think, does he have that disease where you put so much pressure on yourself, you built so much I can't possibly lose, or maybe even get scored on, or my whole image is blown, or something. It just appears to. No, I'm sure it's not that. I'm sure it's a legitimate. We hear pec injury, but that's gonna might be a deciding factor, because I'm no doctor, but that doesn't sound like something he's going to be back next week from. It's going to be a little while.
No, and he missed out on a lot of really good seeding points and stuff like that, because it's not like, Cal Bakersfield has the toughest schedule. So this was a good opportunity for him. And, I know when we talk about our rankings coming up, the BG rankings, I mean, I'm probably going to push to have Cardenas back above, AJ. I mean, AJ sat at home, injured or not. He sat at home while Cardenas went and did his thing.
And let me just make a little plug here. At begwrestling.com is one of the places you can see our rankings. Technically, I'm going to just be straight up. They're your rankings. You do check with us, and we chime in about a guy or two here or there. But I trust your stuff. And even the guys I try to make an argument, I can see where you're coming from and why you have him ranked where he's at. So I highly recommend anyone to go to begwrestling.com, or I'm sure we have him on the Facebook page.
Yeah. I think Drama put him on. And one thing I kind of wanted to say about the rankings real quick is I want people to debate the rankings with me. I want them to comment on Facebook, and I want that. What I don't prefer is someone to say these rankings suck, or it just doesn't do me any good. I've had a couple people do that. It's like, can you give me an example? Because it's good. It's conversation. It's debate. I'm not going to be like, oh, my rankings are right and this and that. No, it's about starting conversations. That's what we're doing the rankings for, So I encourage people to tell me why they think that someone should be different. Just remember, though, if someone should be an All-American, you got to tell me who you're removing. But it's about conversation.
So many times in years past, we had at least a couple weight classes that they were foregone conclusions. We all kind of knew who was going to, I'm talking about the Nolf days, the nickel days. You can keep on going. And You could say, yes, we have one at 285. Now it's Stevenson came back. But from watching Hendrickson, I don't know, man. I don't know. Could it be a whole lot closer? If we have a runaway weight class, that would be it. But when I'm watching Stevenson, I'm telling you right now, even against like Kirklevied, like if Vegas was making odds, I think they would probably be pretty close right now. And I'd like to see how either of them shake up against Stevenson, but especially Hendrickson, because of how his movement level, which is what he needs to be quick on foot.
Yeah.
He's got to be explosive to have success against Stevenson. And but he absolutely looks like a revived new wrestler. Nothing that was broke last year, but he absolutely looks deadly good this year.
No, I agree with you. I mean, you take a guy like him and Dean Hamidi, who, Hendrickson's at Air Force. Nothing against these schools. I'm sure they got fine coaches, but it's just not the same. And Wisconsin's struggling as a program. That's not anything that nobody knows about. And you take them and you put them in a really good atmosphere, really good coaches, and all of a sudden they're revived and they're excelling and they're given the same opportunity as these other guys. And I expect a lot of these guys to take a step up doing that. And you're absolutely right. Hendrickson was mean this tournament. He was ripping people apart, and it was good to see.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I mean, the biggest change might be from the neck up, and that means everything right there. But probably the biggest single surprise sticks out. I would have to say Seth Romney. Who is that guy? Well, we all know who he is now.
You know what? It's funny because I had I put him in our rankings, and I had a couple people message me going, "Who is this guy? Why do you have him in there?" And I'm like, he's pretty good. I'll see where I put him in here. I go, he's actually pretty good. He's got a lot of good results this year. We put him at I put him at 16th actually, so that's why people thought I was crazy. But he's better than 16th.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's gonna be a factor. And I tell you, there are a couple wrestlers that we thought, like a Jesse Mendez. Nobody could beat him except if it's Alirez or maybe Bartlett. But what we've seen at CKLV is maybe someone else could beat Jesse Mendez. They got close. Three different guys got close 3 times, and you got the perfect game plan and a perfect match unfold. Could you come out with a win over Jesse Mendez? Yes, you could.
Yeah, so, I agree with you. I was shocked.
I would say the same against Hamidi. Hamidi, you would think, if it's not O'Toole, if it's not Haynes, nobody's going to beat him. Well, he almost lost tonight.
And I was surprised at that too. I mean, when I saw him do to Ruiz in the semis, I was like, Hamidi's going to smoke Lorenzo. And I was shocked because I watched Ruiz's 3rd place match live, which, by the way, was so disappointing. He's up 7-3 with 20 seconds left, and he loses. Yeah. But and then I look over, I'm like 4-3. Hamidi only won 4-3, and then Jesse Mendez. I said on the podcast, I go, he's gonna major Coderhant, like destroy him, and he beat him 8-6, and he had that little. He just acted not cool at all at the end of that match.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, dude. But you're right. These guys look like, if I'm Bo Bartlett or Andrew Alirez, I'm pumped when I see this. And also when I'm other guys, I'm going, this guy's beatable.
Yeah. Yeah. You think about a guy like Lorenzo Norman. He impressed me, but he impressed me kind of like Echemendia. Like, dude, don't go down on the mat, because that was pathetic looking. Before he took down, I was totally blown away, almost to the point of the same as Seth Romney. I was like, who is this guy? But as soon as he went on that mat, he may want to wrestle just like Echemendia. Just whatever it takes to stay on your feet. Whatever it takes to stay on your feet.
Can I just say the funniest thing I've ever seen was Examendia against Lovett. It reminds me of when my 2-year-old son, right? Like they have that like lava game where it's like the floor is lava and you jump up. The coaches are like, get away from him. After he takes him down, they're like, get away, run. And he doesn't run, right? He tries to ride him for a couple seconds, and Lovett just turns around, throws him down, puts him on his back, and I'm just like, this guy is like an infant when it comes to the top and bottom positions. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
He had that match against Lovett. It was 6-2. All he had to do was literally like lava and run away.
I know.
I was laughing so hard because the coach was like, run. And he just, boom, he's on his back. And I'm like, whoa.
Well, if you ask me, I thought Norman looked like the better wrestler between him and Hamidi.
Yeah,
until
really?
he went down on the mat.
Wow.
As soon as he got on the mat, I thought, oh my goodness. What, are you not aware that he didn't even attempt to do anything. Now, I know Hamidi's tough on top. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
But, come on. He's not the world beater.
No, Lorenzo's a big boy, too, I think. For 74, he's a pretty decent-sized 74-pounder.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, yeah, obviously, Oklahoma State is heading in a certain direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this. Maybe this was just when me and you were talking on the side, but I kind of had it with these Ivy League rules, Kevin. And I swear, if you went and asked an Ivy League decision maker, they would say it's very important to us that things are fair and even. Well, that's all we want for wrestling. I understand, Ivy, you got your rules and stuff, but the fact that Cardenas had to leave just to wrestle again, and how many years did he have over there?
He only had 3 seasons with Cornell. That's it. We're seeing guys with 5 seasons with their team, and we couldn't get 3 out. We had to send him his best season coming up. This was his 3rd time placing at U23, modeling at U23s. His best season coming up, and he's gone. It's like we handed Michigan 20 NCAA points. Just here you go. And I'm watching him, and I'm the type of person where I'm rooting for Cardenas because it's not like he wanted to leave. He didn't want to leave, Yeah. And I'm rooting for him still, but it hurts. It hurts to see him having this success for Michigan instead of Cornell, because that's like we recruited him, we got him, and then we send him on his way.
Well, something about the Ivy League rules are going to be affecting 2 other guys that can't begin to wrestle until the 2nd semester. Who are they?
Yeah, again? So basically the 4 New Jersey guys, Julian Ramirez, Chris Foca, Jacob Cardenas, and Luis Fernandez all came in at the same time, right? Yeah. And because of that 1 year where they canceled the Ivy League season, 2021, they had to plan ahead and take gap semesters because if they graduate too early, they can't. As soon as they graduate, you're done. Your eligibility is done. You cannot compete in Ivy League as a graduate student. So Cardenas and Fernandez graduated. Fernandez just ended up going back and working on his farm, the heavyweight. And Cardenas had to transfer. And then this year, Chris Foca and Julian Ramirez, they can't wrestle until December 22nd, the NC State duel, because that's when the first semester is over with. So they can then wrestle. So they wrestled last week. They wrestled at a place unattached. It was like an open, which, by the way, I always want to explain to people, opens, you can wrestle unattached. Invites, you can't. Invites, you have to wrestle attached. So it's just something for people to kind of keep it, because they get confused with that. But yeah, so, if not for them planning ahead, though, we would have lost all 4 of those guys. They would have had to go somewhere else and wrestle, and it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, that really is a shame. It just is.
It's I'll tell you what, I'm very discouraged as a Cornell fan right now. To be honest with you, like what I saw, they only brought Unger, Fernandez at 49, and Ruiz. 3 starters they brought to CKLV. Everyone else, they had Foca and Ramirez, and the others were injured. Then Unger gets a concussion during his match. And clear as day, the official comes up right on the camera and he says to the coach, he was dazed. I was looking at him. He was like, and what do? They send him right back out. I took a video clip of it. They did the same. They sent him right back out again.
Well, that's a whole nother issue right there. But, you know, the whole group of names that didn't go wrestle. And I'm not convinced every single one of them are dealing with an injury.
Right.
It was disappointing. It really is disappointing. And, but I don't want to go down negative avenues.
Yeah.
Because we still did get to see a lot of great matches. And I think those that went out and put their guts on the line, they will benefit from that. I mean, there is something to be said by putting yourself to a test and being battle tested come when it really counts.
Absolutely. And they had to make weight twice, 2 days in a row. So that's something. And those finals were great. I mean, even like the Caleb Henson Ridge Lovett match was great. I mean, it was so tactical. And you're right. Those guys it's going to pay off for them. The guys that were able to make it through that tournament. It's brutal. It's a brutal tournament. There's a lot of guys that actually don't place at CKLV, but yet they All-American at NCAAs. There's like a list of them.
And I think we've seen some guys that established themselves as absolute AA contenders, like the Bennett Bergies, who came back to get third. The Bear Claw comes out, loses first match to Thompson, and then comes back the whole way and gets third.
Yeah, there was a number of guys. I think Buzakis might have done that too, or he came close to it. He lost first round. There was a lot of guys that lost first round and came all the way back, and they could easily medical forfeited, you know.
Buzakis ended up beating Whitcraft for third. So even Whitcraft, that was another one. I was complaining that I thought that Cale Hughes should have went. In fact, I was calling Cale Hughes would be the winner. That was embarrassing because he turns out he doesn't even start. They send Whitcraft, and I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought Cale Hughes was absolutely better than Whitcraft. Obviously not. Whitcraft is a threat.
Right.
And
no, you're right. And yeah, he got pinned first round. Whitcraft got pinned, and then he won a string of matches. And also, while I have this pulled up before I quit the screen here, Zeth Romney has one loss this year only. He's 12-1, and his only loss was to Tyler Knox. He lost 5-3 to him. That's it, and that was like earlier in the year. So he's a stud.
Wow.
Yeah. And his coach said that he does everything right. He's really good with his nutrition. That's why he's so big, and he's a smart wrestler, man. He was all over that match. But, overall, I think I'm really surprised at how good Oklahoma State was.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got to see some other names that popped through, the Seth Romneys of the world. Hippolito obviously looked good. And there was we could have a real long recording mentioning them all, which we're not going to. But all in all, I gotta change subjects a little bit. Kevin, we have this Mattness Pick'ems contest. Daggone, Kristen Piles has won 3 of them in a row now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is absolutely.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it is. It's just hard to do because you just never know. I got burned I got third, which I was proud to be on the podium, but
that's really good. You got third?
Yeah, I did get third. I came back and beat Zach to get third. Zach, all the morning, he was talking off about it.
Zach, I wanted to tell Zach this. Zach doesn't make it easy to root for him, does he?
No. But all in all, congratulations to Kristen Piles.
Yeah.
And thank you to Wrestle Mattness, the guys over there, Aaron and Clint. And that's just a lot of fun, really a lot of fun. I got to ask you, Kevin, to kind of switch to Ironman a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch much of that or
No,
any of
I
it?
really didn't. I was so zoomed in on the Cliff Keen, but you did though, right?
I watched up until Cliff Keen started, so I missed. Like I wanted to see the Mendoza Marcus Blaze match and missed it. I think Blaze ends up winning 4-1 or 4-0 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than I thought.
I wanted to see the Rainey go up against Jax, and I missed that one. And at one point, that's 7-7, and it goes. I think it goes into overtime where Jax gets the takedown to win it 10-7. Which that just shows you how much of the real deal them Rainey brothers are.
Yeah. Isn't it mind-blowing though that we got these guys, right? Like Marcus Blaze, who gets third at the Olympic trials. Wouldn't you think that this kid would tech fall every high schooler in the first period? And no, it's not the case. There's a large group of guys that are competitive with him, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I know. That's how elevated our kids have become in this sport. But one thing that might have got elevated a little too much is the size of Vega's head, which daggone, I bet you enjoyed that. Old Vega made the finals.
I'll tell you what.
Mendoza
He made a big mistake. He made a big mistake, you know, and I'm not sad. I wasn't the least bit sad when I saw him lose that, you know. I was like,
that was, I mean, of course, to you people out there, Sergio Vega was committed to Cornell, and then he got talked out or maybe paid off. Next thing we know, he's going over to David Teller in Oklahoma State. Yeah. And we were kind of anticipating a Marcus Blaze versus Sergio Vega match, and it never happened because
everyone was on Flow. They wrote an article about it, and they just like literally assumed. They're like, this is what we think is going to happen when they wrestle in the final.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Seth Mendoza.
I mean, you
said, didn't you say what was the history there with Vega?
He's never lost to Mendoza up until this point, and Vega, his only loss in the past 2 years is to Bo Bartlett. Not Bo Bartlett. Bo Bassett. It's the only, and he lost to him 13-11 when he moved up a weight class to wrestle him. Like that's how good Vega is. Vega won Fargo. He beat Ben Davino. He won Super 32s. He's a stud, you know. He U20 national third place, only lost to Bartlett, got taken down. Why do I keep saying Bartlett? Bassett got taken down right at the end. But Vega, to me, when I watched him at Super 32s, and Oklahoma State didn't contact Vega one time until they saw him at Super 32. So, you know, David Teller's like, well, we came in late, so, you know, we have to recruit these guys. It's like, dude, you have 13 recruits coming in that class, which is huge, and 4 of them are number 1 at their weight, and you only contacted them after Super 32. But anyway, when I saw him at Super 32, I was like, this guy is going to be better than Knox. Like, I was more excited about him than Knox. Yeah. I was so bummed. You know how bummed I was. But this he put me down to earth a little bit. I was like, all right, he's human. You know, he's...
Well, let me just say that was a great wrestled match by Mendoza. And by the way, Missouri's getting Mendoza, and that's all of a sudden the kind of guy I find myself rooting for because the big dogs who I know they're getting the money and all, I don't want to sound like it's the jealous factor or something, but it's easier to root for the guys that I'm not saying I'm sure Mendoza got his scholarship or something.
Oh, yeah.
Did he get a huge bag from Missouri? No, not like Vega did at Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I don't think so. He was Mendoza,
Kevin, that match wasn't even close. That match really wasn't close.
I was shocked. Like Vega is an offensive explosion. Like he scores points, you know, and 0 points. Mendoza wrestled so smart, and you're right. It's. I like to root for a guy like that because he always comes up short. Mendoza's been in the final of every major tournament there is, and he always comes up short. But you also got to look at it as the fact of he's made every single final of these major tournaments. He's really good.
Yeah. And, Faith Christian won it. And, of course, they're absolutely loaded.
How about
they're the high school version of, Iowa, Oklahoma State. Some people will say, well, Penn State, too. The people that go out and buy this all-star team. Penn State, not so much this year. But anyway, them Bachman brothers, they're obviously going to have people after them.
Well, they're you know what it drives me nuts about them, right? The fact that they wrestled for Puerto Rico already.
Yeah.
They started that when they were cadets, and they're it drives me nuts, but it does. It's like cadets. You're already doing this as cadets, but how about I saw Cunningham lost to Henkel in sudden victory.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
That match was absolutely incredible. It was incredible. I mean, Cunningham came out and he was, what was it? He was up 7-0 or something. And
I think the final was 4-1. Let me see. No, you're right. I'm so sorry. I was looking at
one point it was 12-12.
Yeah, 15-12 was the final. I was looking at, how they show their records for the tournament, 5-0 and 4-1. I hate that. It confuses me.
Yeah.
15-12?
Yeah. And in all seriousness, Desmond is a great wrestler and he's going to Penn State. Did I think he was so great that he'd win Ironman? No, I didn't. But he had a nice tournament. He took an Ironman title, so that was very cool. But I got to say this, Kevin. We finally got what we're calling a short, and we'll make this kind of short, but we want to have these regularly. And we had something to cover here, but I'd like to just have one subject that we just kind of chew the fat on a little bit and just put them out whenever. And
I'm down with that. I love talking with you about wrestling. We flow, everything goes good. We don't even need to have a plan,
Yeah, that's how I feel. And we can we'll load it on the Facebook page. We'll also have it, of course, on the YouTube page. But I also want to put it on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So those people the 800 people that are, by the way, everyone, come join us on our BEG Facebook page. Love to have you. And I really look forward to having fun. Kevin, a subject pops up, bam, we now have the technology to, boom, we can just, I could be driving down the road.
Well, we can do it anytime. You can call me and boom, we got it. It's unbelievable. Yeah. We are so smart.
I'm looking forward to it. And of course, the big match tomorrow is Penn State, Lehigh. Zach and I will be talking about that. And we didn't even talk about Iowa against Army, which they had them Army boys scrapping. Yeah, they had them Army boys scrapping. And I can imagine, I know Terry put up the link to the press conference afterwards. I didn't get a chance to watch that.
I got to watch that.
Dude, I'm dying to watch that because I know Tom had to be, the final score was 23-16 or something like that.
That's one match, almost one match different. Like that's
granted,
close.
They didn't wrestle Keeter. They put out a backup, which Kevin, I don't understand that. You want Keeter to have as much experience as possible, right?
Yeah.
I know he wrestled against Princeton earlier, but even to wrestle 2 matches close together, that's valuable experience.
Yeah.
Someone would have to explain that to me. Why
that makes Block. They didn't wrestle Block both matches. I don't understand. What?
Yeah. And they went out with Cruz at 125, which they're still experimenting there, I guess. Cruz won 1 and lost 1. And Terry mentioned something to us about he would love to see Caliendo drop down a weight. And after he said it, it kind of hit my interest. Terry, I think you're right here. Caliendo kind of looks small.
Does he? Yeah, I didn't really think about that. I wonder if he's certified.
Yeah, I mean, it would fit Iowa's whole scheme better for him to drop down, but I don't know.
You know what? That's another topic I want to cover another time too. It has to do with that. Like the thing I don't understand is like, if I'm him, I do whatever it takes because you're not going to win a title at 65 with Messenbrink there, right?
Yeah.
And same with Daniel Cardenas, who from Stanford decided to redshirt this year. With Teamer and Shapiro in question, dude, what are you doing? Go wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And Noto, go down to 25 again. It's your senior year. We got to talk about that sometime for sure. Like, I don't understand what if it's me, I do whatever it takes, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I just love seeing finally, all you college wrestler and coaches that are out there holding your guys off because of the way we do our seeding system and stuff. I know you're going to do whatever it takes to win, and I can't blame you for that. But I will say this to all them wrestlers that missed the action, what we seen. That was valuable stuff, and that was entertainment. And we seen some incredible wrestling.
So many good matches, man. And I can't wait to see 165 play out with Nico Ruiz, Hunter Garvin, Peyton Hall, Bear Claw, Brock Mantanona. Like, these guys just let it go, man. And I would rather watch that than these 4-1 sudden victory matches any day of the week.
Absolutely. That is one of the funner weight classes this year. But okay, Kevin, we got done doing the first of many.
Episode 1.
I'm sure the future ones will get joking around a little more.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, we had a lot to cover. And
half hour.
Half watching Penn State. I think they're losing to, or maybe not. Let me give a quick update to my Penn State.
Yeah. Football?
Yeah, they're playing Oregon right now, and it is 28-17 Oregon over Penn State.
Oregon is tough, though. All right, Wayne.
Hey, dude.
Thank you so much. Man. All right, we'll talk
later.